We're going to go over some information today about formulas in Microsoft Excel. A formula is a worksheet instruction that performs a calculation. So it's something that you as the user types into Microsoft Excel in order for it to do some sort of a calculation, be it addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. When you are using formulas, there are a few things that you need to keep in mind. The first thing is your answer cell. This is going to be the active cell that you select that you type your formula in. If you want the answer to be in cell B4, you should click in cell B4 and compose the formula there. The next part is when you are typing in your active cell and the formula bar. As you are typing and entering your formula or editing your formula, these two will stay the same. After you hit enter is when things change. Once you hit enter with the formula, your active cell or the cell that you put the answer in is going to reflect the answer. When you click on that, you're going to be able to see the formula that you used in the formula bar. And I'll go through and I'll show you some of these things as we demonstrate them in Microsoft Excel. When you're using formulas, the equals key is the key. Microsoft Excel will not perform the calculation unless you start it with equals. So if you type 8 plus 2 and hit enter, it's going to stay as 8 plus 2. It is when you put equals 8 plus 2 that you're going to come up with the answer 10. The other thing that you need to consider is that you can use all these different mathematical operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and exponents. We won't be using any exponents in this course, but you can if you need to use it for more complex formulas. I recommend that when you are using these mathematical operators that you use them off of the 10 keypad. I think they're easier to find there, you don't have to search for them, and it reinforces the typing that we have done in Ainsworth keypad. You can use these mathematical operators with cells or ranges. You can use them with values as well. Just like math, order of operations plays a role in Microsoft Excel as well. Remember that the order of operations is PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You're going to do parentheses, then any exponents, multiplication and division, and then finally addition and subtraction. So as you're looking at this problem right here, equals 8 plus 3 times 5. The way that you would go through and multiply this out would be 3 times 5 is 15, plus 8 is 23. If we were to throw in parentheses 8 plus 3 times 5, that's going to change your answer because you're going to do the action in the parentheses first and then multiply that by 5. So as it turns out, it is 23 versus 55 when you're looking at how these answers are going to be displayed. It is important to keep in mind when you are using Microsoft Excel that order of operations is present as well as it would be with mathematics. As you can see, I have switched over to Microsoft Excel to show you how to enter some of these formulas and edit a formula as well. The sheet that you see in front of you is information about stock purchases. Over here on the left-hand side, you see the stock. You see how much it is per share. A share is each portion of it that you would own. You have to pay that amount. The quantity is the number of shares that you own. So your amount is how much you would pay. Now, when you purchase stock, typically you have to pay a broker a commission. This is essentially just a fee that they charge to do the job for you. We're going to go through and use some formulas and some arithmetic operators, mathematical operators to calculate some different things in this area for you. So if I click here in cell D4, you can see that right now it says 5,888. When I click in here, if you look into the formula bar, you'll see that the formula that has been entered is equals B4 times C4. So they are calculating the share price multiplied by the quantity to get our total amount. So I can go ahead and replicate that formula in cell D5. I'm going to use cell references by clicking on these as I'm building my formula. If any of these values were to change, as long as I change them in the appropriate cell, it's going to automatically update my formula, which is a very nice feature. So you'll notice that I have my answer. It's $13,145. Just like we used the fill handle before, you can use the fill handle when you are dealing with formulas. Notice you'll hover at the bottom right-hand corner, click and drag down. When you are using a formula as part of the fill handle, you'll notice that it goes through and it recognizes what you are changing and it changes the formula to match. So here I typed in B5 times C5, and cell D6, it changed to B6 times C6, and so on and so forth. This is how a formula typically copies in Microsoft Excel. We will look later at using an absolute reference to prevent it from doing this. The next thing that we need to look at is our cost basis. Now, the book has us calculating the cost basis by adding these two figures together. So we're going to go ahead and do that. It would be the amount plus the commission. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and I'm going to go ahead and use the fill handle and drag those down. You'll notice that cells F5 and F7 have pound signs or hashtags in them. It's because the cell width is not wide enough to accommodate those numbers. I'll just go up here and I'll use autofit, and it will go ahead and show us those values now. So we have used multiplication, we have used addition. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use division. So again, equals the commission percentage. I want to know what percentage of the whole, our cost basis, the commission is. So what you will do is you will select the commission and you will press the division key and then you will select the cost basis. And this is going to go ahead and give us our commission percentage. Um, there are lots of different things that we can do. Hopefully you are able to see how you can use mathematical operators like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division to go ahead and create your formulas in Microsoft Excel.